All right, good morning. Day 26. We're back out here, January 27th, 4:10 in the morning. Here we go. We're still continuing. It's like a non-negotiable now. Got to get out here. All right, so we're day 26. I got to turn these on. It's cold out here. 21 degrees. I think outside, we'll take a look at it. But we're going to be 7.8% complete after today. That's 7,800 reps. And so we're just chipping away one day at a time at this 100,000. And we're doing the vegan 300. 300 pounds of meat are eaten every single year by the average person. And you don't need to eat any animals whatsoever to be strong, fit, and healthy. I'm showing you that. Many other people continue to show you that as well. So you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe them, but you can do the research yourself. So let's see the temp out here. 14 degrees feels like -1. Feels like -1. Today's comment we're responding to, it's Ash M. Nothing wrong with a little sport if you feeding the family. So the sports I grew up, right? Nobody died, and it was an even match. So it's mind-boggling to me that we call hunting sport, right? Like we think that they're having even playing field out there. Stream quality updated, lowered, connection not fast enough. I think again because we're streaming in two places, so we'll see. But yeah, the sport thing, right? Like we think that going out and being in camouflage and having a weapon and then shooting the deer that walk by is a sport. And it's nothing wrong with it as long as we're feeding our family. And to me, that doesn't make any sense. Right? Just because you don't have to. You're not doing it for survival. We're not hunting. Nobody is hunting. No one watching this is hunting for survival. So, is there something wrong with taking an animal's life without, without the need to? It's not necessary. Even if it's feeding your family, I think that that's just something people use to feel good about it and to justify killing another animal that didn't want to die, that has an experience, and it's not necessary for you to do that. That animal is not harming you. You're not defending yourself. You're going out, and it's literally sport. So we call it a sport. And so do you think the sport should take the life of another animal? I think those for all my hunters out there, do you think that a sport should take the life of another animal? In my mind, there's no. It's a non-negotiable there either, right? Like their animal, like their life means something to them. And so, the fact that we say that there's nothing wrong with it, is there something wrong with taking a life if it's not necessary? Even if you feed your family with it, even if you feed your family. To me, no. But that's what I'll say there. I'm still looking for a discussion, still looking for somebody to come on, have a live discussion with me, ask me questions, talk to me. But I want to know why you eat meat, why you still continue to eat animals. Hunters, I'll be happy to talk to hunters. We think it's okay to kill animals and chop off their head and put it on the wall as like memory. I mean, it's crazy. We're going to look back one day and be like, damn, like what were we doing? What were we doing? Just got to question it, man. You got to question a lot. All right, we're going to get after this. All right, we're going to knock out another 300 repetitions. Again, if you're not familiar with the vegan 300, I coined this. It's 3 repetitions in 1 movement. And we made up the movement. Movement is a strict push-up with dumbbells. Then almost like a devil's press, but it's a dumbbell swing overhead. And then we're doing a front squat. So that's what we got. We're using 20 pounds. Minimal warm up. We're just going to get right after this. I also got a shovel. Snowed a lot yesterday, so we're going to get the shovel going. All right. All right, let me take some water one last time and we'll get after it. All right, let's go. Here we go. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, We're doing 10 rounds of 10. That's where we get the vegan 300 from. All right, it's 100 movements with 3 repetitions in each movement. All right, first round out of the way. One, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sport. You know, if you just think of that, there's nothing wrong with sport. Like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with a sport until you're taking the life of another animal. How can we call that a sport or game? We're taking game. It's not a game. It's their life. So no, you're using that animal. You're using that animal's body. You're taking that animal's life so you can feed your family. But yet you can feed your family with another way that doesn't violate someone's life. 2 rounds in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Three rounds through. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, halfway. Let's go 5 more rounds. Downhill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7 rounds through. We got 3 more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8 rounds. 2 more rounds. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go, finishing up round 9. Almost done. Here we go, 9. This is our last round right here. Let's go. Last round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. 100. Here we go, finishing up on the row. Call it a day. Call it a day in the books. We're taking about a minute on the row each round. So if you don't have a rower, you can just rest for a minute. But if you do have a bike or a rower, say jump on that. 10 cows or about a minute, nice and easy. There it is, 25:10. Another day in the books. Ladies and gentlemen, another day in the books. 7,800 total reps so far this year. We missed one day. I don't regret it. But I think it'd be hard for me to miss another day. I think it's so automatic now. My body was up at like 3:45. Was like, let's go. So, you know, really make it a non-negotiable. You know, don't try to make it out here. Don't try to get a workout in. Make it happen. It's like automatic. So I don't use the word try. I heard that yesterday. I liked it. You know, don't try. It's like one of the worst words. You know, make it happen. Commit to yourself. Commit to yourself that you're gonna do something. You know, I committed to 100,000 reps. I think I failed last year with the burpees, but this year's a different year, baby. So I like this movement. Is, you know, it's not the same movement every time. I mean, it is, but it breaks it up pretty well with 3 different movements or 3 reps in one movement. So, and then breaking it up with the row is really good for me. So I think it's sustainable. You know, I know it's only day 26 here, but we got 333 total to go. And so we're going to keep doing it. So 7,800 total reps. And I'm going to commit to myself every single day. So tomorrow I'll be out here, day 27. We're going to cross 8,000 repetitions. We'll be 8.1%. Let's just keep adding 300. And then we'll get there. Today's comment, nothing wrong with a little sport if you're feeding the family, you know, with a piece of meat emoji there. You know, but is there something wrong with killing an animal when you don't have to? Regardless of what you do with the body, regardless of, you know, if there's any waste or not, this, even before that, is it necessary to take the life of another animal, you know, when you can choose not to? And, you know, I think you'll find that it's not. It's not. And the reason why is because that animal has an experience. And what happens to that animal matters to that animal, regardless of what you want to do with it. So also, do you think a sport should involve a result in another animal's death or another being's death? You know, that's really not a sport. I think that we choose the words carefully to make ourselves believe that it's a good thing or it's not a big deal. Just like Ash M doesn't think it's a big deal, you know, calling it a sport, but call it for what it is. You're actually killing an animal that has done nothing to you. It is walking around in its environment that, again, we build on and we continue to take away from them. You know, and you don't need to feed your family. You're not living on a remote island where you need to hunt to feed your family. It is 2026. We're not living in the past. We're not living in BC. We're not living hundreds of years ago. Right? You have the option, you have the research, you have all the evidence out there to know and understand that we don't need to eat any animals whatsoever. We don't need to. All right, to be strong, fit, and healthy, to be able to do 100,000 repetitions in 1 year, in 26 or 25 days straight. I think it's not straight, but I did miss one day because today's January 27th, so I missed like the first Saturday, but gave myself permission, and I think that was, I don't know if that was a mistake. I don't regret it. I got it out of the way, so now I'm not, 330 days in and then, all of a sudden just not make it anymore. So not doing it unbroken. The repetitions are unbroken, each 10. So I'm going to continue to do that. We'll continue to adjust the weights. You just saw me do 20-pound dumbbells. And so I went heavier. Heaviest is 35 that we've done. I'll probably go heavier. It's got a long way to go. So just one day at a time. 7,800 total reps complete. Today, what's today? Tuesday, 4:46 in the morning. Good morning. Drop a comment. I'll post it. You got any questions? Any motivation? Any questions? Any comments? I'll take them. I'll post them. 9 degrees outside. 4:47. My training readiness is 35. That's not good. Only 4 hours and 50 minutes of sleep. That's not good. 93 ms balanced. And then talks about the temperature. So it's before 5 a.m. A lot of people are still sleeping. They haven't even gotten up yet. I got to go shovel right now. So I'm going to continue to kind of get another bit of a workout in. Shoveling's not easy. But I got this awesome shovel. I just slide it. It's called what's it called? The snow plow. It's like 4 feet long and solid. All right, no comments. I know you guys are watching. Well, good morning to you all, wherever you are. This is day 26 here. Hopefully it's going to motivate you to get outside or go in a gym, get a workout in, continue to do it regardless of what you eat. But I'm just showing you that you don't have to eat any animals to be strong, fit, and healthy. All this things about protein and nutrients and vitamins and, plants have everything you need. I don't take any supplements. You don't need a supplement if you don't want to. If you want to, go ahead. But again, we're not harming another animal. So is there something wrong with sport or hunting, whatever you want to call it? We're taking the life of another animal, even if we feed our family. And just because we feed our family, I think that's our own personal way to justify what we're actually doing, what's actually happening to the animal. We're taking the life of an animal. If we took it in human terms, right? If we take the life of a human, do you think that that's right? Do you think that that's the right thing to do? Even if I fed my family with that human body, even if I needed to, do you think that that's right? Is that morally right? And regardless of laws and, forget laws, I'm just talking the morals of it. Taking the life of another being. And we know that they experience. We know that they are sentient. We know that they can think. Remember that comment I made? I think, therefore I am. I don't know who said that, but, that there's a being behind that. If they can think, if an animal or a being can think, like they are, they're not an object. They're not like this phone here. Like, they're not like this case, so they have feelings, and they suffer and they're able to feel pain. So, do you think that that's the right thing to do, whether you call it a sport or not, to kill an animal that doesn't need to die? Do you think that that's the right thing to do? Even if I feed my family. Again, that's that own justification of it to make ourselves feel better. Because we have that dissonance, right? That confliction, like we know that we're doing something wrong, but then we're trying to justify it in our own minds and to others. And that's why we'll comment out here. And so, it's to make yourself feel good. You know, and do you think a sport should result in another being killed? You know, is that really a sport? You know, so again, it's these terms that we use to make ourselves feel good. Let's call it what it is. Call it what it is. All right, Ash M, no comments from you individuals. Anyone watching, if you are interested, shoot me an email or drop a comment. I would love to have you on. Let's have a discussion. I'll bring you on. You know, I'm not some, call it crazy militant vegan. I just want to know, you know, why you continue to eat animals, why you think it's okay to kill animals when we don't have to. You know, please share your experience, share your thoughts on it. You know, I'm not going to convert you. I'm not trying to force my beliefs on you, but I believe that you already know that, you know, you already know the right answer. You already know what the best option is. You know, I have comments about, oh, like the less cruel way, you know, they prefer a less cruel way of killing animals. Well, what's the ultimate less or the least cruelest way to kill an animal? And I mean, you know, like, it's kind of like, how do I even answer that? But what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to kill an animal. So like the least cruelest way is to not kill an animal at all. So we know that that's the right answer. If you have to, understand. If any of you are watching this and you're on a remote island and you're hunting and you know you need to kill animals in order to survive and feed your family, I got it. Right? I mean I would totally justify. I mean I get it. But that's not what's happening. Like, it's 2026. Whether you live in Canada, in the Arctic, you know, there's options, there's stores. If you have stores that you can go to, you can purchase plant-based options, beans, lentils, rice, chickpeas, tofu, all of it. You have all the plant options around you. All right, so we don't need to go ahead and take another animal's life whose life matters to them. We don't need to do it. So if it's unnecessary, why are we doing it? So please don't just try to find justify the ways that what we're doing, that we know it's wrong. Dude, look, a lot of people watching. This is a lot of morning folks out here. Day 26. If you got any comments, let me know. Oh, here we go. Leaky log. Appreciate your comment. So humans, animals can't eat animals, but animals, FE, a lion can eat a deer. Why can't I eat the deer? It's a great question. Leaky log. Appreciate it, man. So animals, I'm going to say humans, you can eat animals. I mean, we do. People do, but we don't have to. Just because we can doesn't make it necessary and doesn't make it moral. So let's say a lion eats a deer. A lion doesn't have a choice. A lion is out in nature doing what it's supposed to be doing. It has no choice. It can't go shopping. So a lion is a legit carnivore. Like, it needs to eat animals. It needs to kill its prey. And, you know, I don't like to see it. I don't want to see another animal suffer and get eaten alive or killed like that. I mean, I've seen videos. I don't want to see that. That doesn't make me feel good, but that is nature. And nature is, I mean, it's awful out there. You know, but just because we can doesn't make it necessary. And yes, humans are animals. I get that. But we're not out there, we're not doing it for survival. You can go to the store, you can purchase plants, and so you don't need to kill animals. You don't need to hunt. You don't need to hunt. All right, leaky log. So you can eat the deer, and I'm sure that you do. I've eaten deer. I've had venison stew. But again, you don't need to. Now, if the deer is already dead and you talk about like roadkill and you don't want that deer to go to waste, I mean, go ahead, but we shouldn't be normalizing eating animals in the first place. We shouldn't. I mean, it doesn't appeal to us. You know, we have to cook them. The lion doesn't have to cook anything. It eats it raw meat, raw flesh, and I mean tears them up from the behind, eats their organs. And you're not doing that, leaky log. You're not doing that. That doesn't appeal to you. So yes, a lion can eat a deer. And humans, you know, not saying that you can't eat animals, you can. And if you need to, absolutely. If I needed to, I would. I'd still be eating animals if I needed to. I mean, that's a fact. If I needed to be, if I needed to eat animals to be strong, fit, and healthy, I absolutely would. But I'm showing you that you don't have to. So it's not necessary. So yes, I mean, and just because other animals do it in nature, in the wild, doesn't mean that we can do it or that it's moral to do it. So I hope that answers your question, Leaky Log. You got another one for me? Let me know. And I'd be more than willing to have you on, talk about it. Leaky Log. That's a funny name too, a Leaky Log. I like it. All right, what else you got? Appreciate the comment. I got a little bit of time before I got to go shovel. All right. And maybe say a lion killed the deer. Say a lion killed the deer, and then you were, you showed up late to protect the deer, and you needed to feed your family, and then you shooed the lion off, or you scared the lion off, which I don't know if that's realistic. And then you ate the deer, because you didn't want the deer to go to waste because the lion killed it. I mean, okay, maybe. But for you to go out into the wild, to wear camouflage gloves and hats, and so the deer don't see you, and so you don't say anything, and so they just walk by, and then you shoot them, and then they run off, and then you trace their blood, and you find their blood. They ran a mile away, pouring blood from them. That can't feel good to them. You're harming them. They are suffering. They are bleeding out. Do you think that feels good to be shot? And people and hunters talk about like a one-shot kill, like like you shoot and then the deer just drops over. Like nobody's done that. I've rarely ever seen that. That's not, maybe one or two times people can do that, but you're not doing that on a consistent basis. And again, it doesn't make it right. Even if the animal felt no pain, which isn't true. Even if the animal felt no pain, do you think it's moral to take an animal's life when you don't need to? Just because you're feeding your family, just because you want venison stew, just because it's cheaper, even though all the gear that you probably bought is way more expensive than going out and get plant-based options. Every year you go out and get a rifle. How much does a weapon cost? How much does a deer tag cost? How much does all the insulation cost, especially if you're hunting in Michigan? You got to have all this warm gear. You got to have boots. You gotta buy deer urine. You gotta buy deer urine so you can put it on you so the deer don't smell you. They get your human scent, and so that they walk close to you and then you shoot them. Like, you think that's fair? You think that that's a good thing to do? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And really, the only reason why you're hunting is because your family's hunted, because your dad hunted, your grandparents hunted, your uncle hunts. You have friends who hunt, and you talk about it, and it's a tradition, and you go up to deer camp, like deer camp. They call it deer camp. You can't just go camping. You gotta call it deer camp. And because you're gonna go out and shoot deer, like it's a good thing. Like it's something that we should be doing. Like it's something that, because it's tradition, it makes it a good thing. No, it's not. It's still not a good thing, even if you're feeding your family. So is there something wrong with killing animals, killing other beings when it's not necessary? I don't think people, like, that's just the most basic question that I think people have a hard time answering. And even Leaky Log, saying that, i.e., lions can eat a deer, why can't I? You can. You can. But the lions don't have a choice. They're out there doing it because they have to. They have to feed their family. They bring back the meat to their babies and their family, and they have to eat. And if they don't eat, they don't survive. You and I and everyone watching this and come across this, you absolutely can. What is this? What? What? Alexandra the Great's face fuchsia tongue out, face fuchsia tongue out, face fuchsia tongue out. What are you even talking about? What is that? Is that like a bot? Is there like a bot on this channel? What is that? What is that? Appreciate your comment there, Alexander the Greats. Appreciate that. Emoji fail. Yeah, man. Is your computer not working? Is your computer not working? Emoji. Are you trying to drop some emojis there? Fuchsia tongue out. Face fuchsia tongue out. 3 of them? I don't know, but words, man. Don't do emojis. Let me know. Don't do emojis. 5 a.m. here, Michigan time. I got to go shovel here shortly. My fingertips are getting cold now. All right, got a little audience this morning. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate the comments. Leaky Log, Alexander the Great. Appreciate it. Whether it's emoji fails or not. I hope I'm getting you to think. You know, maybe you'll have a plant-based option today. Maybe you'll have a plant-based meal instead of the turkey sandwich that you had planned. Or, you know, when you go out, if you go out. By the way, like, there's vegan options everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you can get a vegan option. You can replace your meat that you normally get with a plant-based option. Ask the restaurants to do that. Fast foods, Taco Bell's got great vegan options. Ask for the Fresca style. We do their as a crunchy bean burrito wrap. You know, Fresca style, so they don't do the sour cream or the cheese. What is this? Are you currently following a conjugate plan? What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. I gotta look it up. Conjugate plan? That's a word I don't really know in that term. Conjugate plan. The conjugate method enhanced through the research of West Side Barbell. No, the first time I heard of that is an introductory book that simplifies the West Side Barbell training. I'm working out with dumbbells. So this is the Vegan 300. I got 3 movements in one. 3 repetitions in one. I'm using 20-pound dumbbells. You'll see me, I do a strict press or a strict push-up. And then what we call is a devil's press. What I've known it to be all my life is a devil's press, where you take the dumbbells and then you swing them up overhead and press them out fully overhead. And then I go right into a front squat. So that's our 3 repetitions in one movement. I'm doing 10 rounds of that. And the dumbbell weight doesn't matter. So I started with 15 pounds. I was doing that for quite some time. Then I jumped up to a 35. I think I went right to 35s, to a 35 on the weekend. Or maybe it was 20, 25, I forget. But the most we've done was 35 pounds. Took us 36 minutes. And but the movement, like, what I'm doing is crazy effective. And I think everyone should do it. I mean, you think about doing 100,000 reps. I know people talk about, like, oh, doing, you know, they do 100 push-ups a day, but we're doing 100 strict push-ups. We're doing 100 devil's presses, and we're doing 100 front squats with dumbbells, and we're rowing. So, and we're doing it under 30 minutes. I know this live is a long time, almost an hour, but, you know, super effective. And, you know, it's got cardio with it. I mean, I keep moving, and it's, you know, and as long as you have good form, and that's the one biggest thing that I'm not afraid of, but I just want to make sure that I continue to do is not sacrifice my form for the weight. Because if I do get hurt or my back gets hurt, you know, 100 repetitions, and that could get, you know, it could compound. And so I definitely don't want to get hurt. That's why I went with 15 pounds. I went nice and light. 35 pounds was super heavy. I mean, think about it, total weight, 70 pounds, then I'm swinging up overhead and then front squatting, you know, individually, right? So it's not a barbell. So back to your question, is it a conjugate plan? It is not. I'm not following the conjugate plan, but rotates exercises, intensities, and volumes to build strength and athleticism. No, we're using the same weight, same movement. I know, some people might think it's boring, but it's for me, I don't have to think about the workout. I don't have to like I know what I'm doing. I know the movements that I'm doing. And think about after 100,000 reps of that, or call it divide by 3, but I'm becoming an expert at those movements, and like the more we do the movements, I'm becoming stronger at those movements. And, it's almost like they're wired into me now. And so like even, you build discipline. So the consistency builds discipline. So I think for me, not having to think about, I'm going to do chest this one day and legs and then, back and shoulders. Like I was never ever a fan of bodybuilding like that. If you are interested in that, I mean, that's great. Whatever, you enjoy. But for me, like the CrossFit style mentality is always, I always kind of found, always kept coming back to because it's so effective. Like you don't have a lot of time. I don't want to be out here 4 hours and I want to get my workout in and get it done and get it over with. So, an hour for me is a long time. And, I'd rather be doing other things. And so what's the most effective way that we can work out and build muscle and cardio at the same time? Well, I found this movement, but the whole CrossFit style movement is what that whole methodology is what I like. What are your fitness goals? Because that's so hardcore. Do you do stuff like hip hinge movements? And how often do you rotate exercises? How many years have you been working out now? How many grams of protein you get? Great questions, man. Appreciate this. Ali Hussein. All right, so a couple things here. What are my fitness goals? So right here, over here, this one, 100,000 reps. So right now, that's my only fitness goal. My only, what I'm striving for. Last year, I tried to hit 100,000 actual burpees and I failed. I stopped doing them. One thing led to another. I think I got to like 126 days of doing 329 burpees a day. And so I think I just got burnt out and it took me a long time to get back into it. So that's first and foremost. And I appreciate it. I don't think it's hardcore. I mean, I just set it out there. To me, you break it up in chunks, but you have to be consistent. So consistency breeds discipline. And for me, I have the discipline already. I mean, I got it through the military. And it's, it comes and goes, but the discipline will always keep you coming back. So I don't do hip hinge movements. I don't like isolated movements. I never have, like bodybuilding. I don't like that. I'm not going to rotate these exercises. CrossFit style is like always something different every day and mixing it up. So I've done that for 6, 7, 8 years. We started our own CrossFit. So we owned our own gym. And so that kind of got us into the whole, daily fitness. I mean, we coach class every single day for 5 years. And so, that's definitely built into my lifestyle for sure. But right now I'm not rotating any exercises. This is the only exercise I'm doing. And I always told myself that I want to get out here and do, some other things like bench press or some other movements, but I haven't. I think this is enough for me for now. It's only January. We're still early on. I know I say it's sustainable. I do envision myself getting through this. And again, if I commit to myself here and to you all, I think it helps me. It helps me, continue this journey. And, I know a lot of people are rooting against me. I got some people rooting for me. And so, I mean, but really it's up to me. It's up to myself. And, for me, it also works out in the morning. In the morning, I got no excuses, but I just have to get up early. So I've been getting up at 4 a.m., 3:45 today, right around there. And then I come out here and then we get after it. It's not long, right? Like we're still under an hour on the timer here. So even if I was still working out, I'd still be under an hour, but we're 30 minutes. So that's that question. How many years have you been working out now? Again, we started our CrossFit, man, like 10 years ago, maybe. I don't know. But we've been doing CrossFit. I've always been an athlete. So we've built it into our fitness. We raised our boys with the CrossFit. So we've encouraged them to work out and be athletic and take their fitness and, seriously. And how many grams of protein? I don't worry about grams of protein. I don't worry about that at all. I know, people trying to hit protein goals. I don't worry about protein. And the reason why is because all plants have protein. And I'm showing you that you can be strong and build muscle and be fit without eating any animals whatsoever. So again, I've never been like a calorie counter or macro counter or worried about proteins coming in. I think so many people overthink it. In fact, had a conversation with one of my coworkers who, I talked about how making a cashew cream, and cashew cream is basically just cashews and water. So you got 1 cup of cashews, 1 cup of water. You can add salt or not, but then she said that like, oh, well, what about the calories in the nuts and the cashews? And I'm like, well, why are you concerned with the calories in whole foods? And I just don't think people should be concerned with calories if they're eating good whole foods. Like, eat as much plants as you want, eat as many whole foods as you want. Don't worry about calories, don't worry about protein. Just eat quality foods, eat a variety of quality foods that you like, that you enjoy. Learn how to make them, and then just mix those up, and you'll get better at making the plant-based foods. You'll get better at those options. So I don't worry about protein. Good question. Was it you who collab with Alex Leonidas? You guys still get along? You can ignore this if I'm mixing things up right now. No, dude, I appreciate the comment. Wasn't me, Alex Leonidas. Nope. Haven't collaborated with anybody, but if you'd like me to, let them know, reach out. And then, I'll be happy to talk to anybody. I'll be happy to collab with people, get the message out, or at least share my thoughts on it. Yeah, I don't know who Alex Leonidas is. Sounds like a I don't know, someone famous. You can ignore this if I'm mixing things up. No, man, I don't. I don't need. I'm good, but I do need a shovel though. It's 5:12, so I should get out there. Yeah, that's all I got, man. I appreciate the comments. I was able to drop some little nuggets there for you, or at least let you know where I'm coming from. So thank you. Thank you for that. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and then you'll get notified if I'm out here every day, holding me accountable. Ask me questions. I'll be happy to have you on live as well. All right. He's also a vegan bodybuilder or Smith, but yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, for sure. Cool, man. See, it's out there, and he can do it. I mean, why can't you? Why can't I? I'm really not interested in bodybuilding right now. And people are, and you can. Absolutely. I just these workouts are way better, like cardio, moving, like it's hard for me to sit in one spot and, do something like that. I feel like it's, I want to do more. So that's where I came up with the vegan 300. It's a constant movement. We're constantly moving. We're throwing weight around. You got to maintain form. And so we're going to continue to do that for 100,000 reps. All right, man. Appreciate the comments. Ali Hussein, appreciate all your comments. Thanks for dropping your name. Thanks for the comments. Leaky Log, you as well. Alexander's the Greats. And so, yeah, man, hope you all have a great day. Oh, look at this. School's canceled for the boys. School is canceled. Look at that. Just got the text. Boys are still sleeping, but man, they're going to be happy that they got no school. So must be the snow out there. I got to go shovel. Look, and now they're calling. They're calling me. They do a good job with that, man. And, the kids should not be driving in weather like this, man. Michigan, we were getting hit hard with snow. We were getting hit hard. Over this weekend, it was negative 16 degrees. There's a video I did, and that's when we did the 35-pound dumbbells. But it was 14 degrees in the garage. 14 degrees. That was them calling. So yeah, 14 degrees, but man, Michigan's getting hit hard. I think the whole kind of USA is getting hit hard with a big storm coming through, but like it's not going to stop us out here. 22 degrees in here, but definitely not 14. My toes are starting to get a little cold. So, all right, guys, day 26. I got to get out of here. I got to start shoveling. 7.8% complete. That's 7,800 reps. Again, thank you for your comments. Thank you for the questions. And we're going to keep showing you that you absolutely can be strong, fit, and healthy without eating any animals whatsoever. All right, guys, have a great day. Peace.